Hi guys, welcome to Breion's Diary, where we talk about life. We are healing, growing, building our confidence and self-esteem, but we're doing that through God. Hey guys, today we're going to be kind of going over another one of my favorite verses, and that is Philippians 4:6 and 7, which says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace which transcends all understanding shall guard your hearts and minds." And it's so funny because that was the verse of the day this morning on my Bible app. But there was a time last month where God gave me that scripture every single morning that I asked him for a scripture. And I was like, God, why do you keep showing me this scripture? And one thing I learned, and I now understand, is that God will always prepare you for things to come. Nothing is by surprise when you're in a relationship with God. So we're going to come back to Philippians 4:6-7. When I said that, another example came in my head, and I got to get it out. So God told me to scripture Proverbs 15:3 a couple times, and it says, "Evil will not sleep until they make you stumble." And that's not by verbatim, but it's how I can say it off the top of my head. And I used to ask again, God, why are you showing me that scripture? And then boom, I was spiritually attacked. And so God warns me, like, be on your P's and Q's. And not saying to live like, I got to watch my back or anything like that. But just know if there's a shakeup, it's like, okay, God kind of was warning me about this. He told me this was coming, so let me armor up, And so it's like those fiery darts, they don't hit like they used to. Sometimes they do if I'm not in deep relationship with God, but a lot of times I can catch it. So Psalms 91 is a great protection prayer. I pray Psalms 91 so many mornings. It's like a start my day prayer that I use now. And I'm getting off topic. Come back. So let's get back. Okay, so now why I say embrace your journey. God already has your life planned out. It was meant for me to go through the things that I went through. It wasn't God's time, and he used that because it was a time for me to transform. He needs to use me, so he had to take me through a healing process so that I would no longer be timid, low self-esteem, people-pleasing, lack of confidence, and filled with trauma. Like generational curses gotta be broken, generational traumas gotta be broken, and he needs to use my voice to help his people. And this goes for many of you too. Like, I had to learn, stop being mad at God. Stop blaming others because your life seems like it's in chaos right now. There's another side to that chaos, and understand too, what God is teaching me now, that some of that came up a lot from your own decisions that you made. And when I mean being in chaos where I'm at now, I'm learning to change my perspective in words. So it's like you're not in chaos. You're really just in a process. I was not depressed or losing things. I was being purged so new things could come. So again, it's about your perspective and the decisions you make. Some things I just was not disciplined in, and now I'm learning that discipline. So if your garbage can is full, are you going to put more garbage in there, or are you going to take the trash out and put a new bag in there? So it's like, allow God to take all the trash out of your heart and out of your life. You really think that God is going to fill it with new trash. No, God took lack of confidence out of my head and in life and replaced it with confidence through him and validation through him. And he's teaching me self-discipline. Why I'm when I asked God to show me my heart, he showed me that some of the things that I did was because of my own doings, because of the decisions I made. God give us free will, So I'm learning to make better decisions. So like I was saying, God purged away burdens of unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, and anger from my life, and he's replacing it with the fruits of the Spirit. I understand now that, I was a bit the B word in a sense. And I had to learn, some of my behaviors, it was not right. So I was praying, ask God that those seeds Satan tries to plant, allow them to blossom into his fruits. What's leaving, allow it to go. What you think is a loss, it's not really a loss. When you think your life is over, it's just beginning. No, it does not feel good when you're going through things. I know it doesn't trust me, but it's all in the mind. That's why Satan will try to make you lose it. But that's why you got scriptures, coming back to it, Philippians 4:6-7, as a reminder of what God told you. Again, I lost my job a year ago. God gave me a new one and a business at this point. So if this job ends too, I still got my business. And guess what? I'm going to put everything into it. Yes, it's still growing. And if my job ended, I would have a hard time mentally. I would try my best, but I'm not going to sit here and just lie to y'all. But I'm self-aware enough to know that I would lean on God. Because what has he not brought me through at this point? I've been at the lowest of lows. and God brought me right back up and out. So I will be tested in the area of pride again for sure, but would this be a new test? No, it would not, because that's a part of embracing the journey. Previous tests have prepared me for this one, and God got me through the last test. I mean, God got you through whatever you've been through before, right? So it's kind of like, why would he not get you through this one? So do not be anxious about anything. God will give you peace. The thing, we should only think of things that are lovely, noble, and good. It says it in his word. So I'm going to go to God crying. I know I'm going to him crying. But I bet he's going to give me confirmation and peace and help. So embrace this thing called life. Embrace the journey. Get the experience. Trust is one of the hardest things to do. But when you trust the right people, when you trust God, it's not that bad. Embrace your journey. There will be ups and downs. It is. But ride it. After winter comes spring, and after the storm, the sun shines so bright. So remember, healing isn't linear. It is a journey. Here at Breion's Diary, we are healing together. I love you guys so much. And again, embrace your journey. Know that life is not happening to you, it's for you. Go with the flow of the redirection, but be disciplined. If you want change, you got to be willing, self-disciplined to make those changes. And if you don't know what change looks like, do the opposite of what you've been doing before. Make a decision that's the opposite of what you've been doing before, and then maybe you will see a change. And then when you make that, and then when you do the opposite and you make that change finally, be consistent with it. Don't stop it just because it's hard. We all guilty of it. I know I am. It's like, for me, as soon as I start feeling better, I just wallow back into the old ways, and then I'm mad at myself because I'm back at square one when I saw the changes happening. So it's kind of like, don't give up on yourself. Keep going. Same way you picked up on habits that you're now trying to break. Think about it. The habits that you have now were habits that you learned, and it came from you constantly doing it. So you got to do the same thing to break a habit. It might be a little hard, but it wasn't as hard when you've been doing it before because you were interested in it, right? So it's all in the mind. Embrace your journey. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.